Hi, I'm Tiffany Young for IdeateTV, and I'm here with David Petersen, creator of Mouse Guard, and we're here at his booth at Comic-Con. David, tell us about Mouse Guard.
Sure. Mouse Guard's a medieval fantasy comic about mice with swords. They help the smallest of these, the common mouse, the little creatures that can't defend themselves against predators or massive weather conditions moving in, and make sure that shipments of grain can get from one town to another.
Wow. Okay, this is really interesting. So, how did you come up with this idea for this story of the lives of these mice, these brave, courageous mice?
I love talking animal stories, things like Wind in the Willows or Aesop's Fables, Rudyard Kipling's Just So stories, things like that.
Right.
And I wanted to do an animal story of my own, but I wanted it to be as epic as the D&D adventures that I played when we were younger.
Right.
So I put those things together and came up with Mouse Guard.
And how did you choose mice specifically?
Well, I had thought about doing something with lots of different animals and treating every species kind of like Tolkien treats races, so that every animal would have its own culture, its own architecture, its own language. And that got pretty daunting, but I also thought about how do you keep something like a mouse involved in a story where a fox is also a main character, because the fox is just going to want to eat the mouse. Like, it's going to be very hard for the mice to do anything and contribute to the story because of their plight. And I realized, like, that's the important part. That's the interesting thing, is the plight of the mouse, the plight of the little.
Right. And what do we have going on at your booth here? Like the many adventures of these. Anything new that you're?
We've got hardcover books. We've got prints. We've got enamel pins that just debuted here at San Diego Comic-Con. Coloring book, role-playing game, lots of good stuff.
Great.
And I'm working on the next book now.
Oh, perfect. Any specific adventures that these mice go on that we can tell people that don't know about Mouse Guard?
Sure. The first adventure, or the first book, is about them going on kind of a routine mission to find a missing grain merchant. And they uncover a plot to overthrow the guard from within. And in that book, there's encounters with bees and crabs, and there's a snake battle. There's treachery from their own kind, from the mice. The follow-up book is called Winter, takes place the next season after, and that's just, it's like, a D&D adventure, but during the winter scenes of Dr. Zhivago. And there's an owl that's menacing that comes back. There's an epic quest in the third book for what would be like the Excalibur of the Mouse Guard world, which is called the Black Axe. So, yeah, lots of fun stuff going on.
That sounds exciting. Are you familiar with The Secret of Nim?
Sure.
Oh my gosh, that was one of my favorite things. So I'm really excited to learn more about Mouse Guard, because I feel like it's like you get into the lives of these mice and it's like you don't look at real mice the same anymore. Is that right?
I guess. I always think that they just work as the perfect analog for the feeling that I think we all feel, no matter how big or small we actually are. Everyone knows what it's like to feel like the little person, whether it's professionally or in love or in school or physically, being bullied or whatever. Everyone has felt like their circumstances are larger than themselves and they might not have what it takes inside to overcome it. I think that's a universal emotion, and mice embody that as an animal, I think, better than any other animal I could think of.
Definitely. Wow. So really hitting the reader on a deeper level.
Trying to.
Yeah. Teaching people to be courageous and brave, and at the same time compassionate.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And the mice don't just survive, they actually thrive. They work hard for their own world so that it's more than just simple survival. They embrace the arts and culture and try to have a real society.
Wow. Well, I love that. I love that you have this booth set up here. And we're so glad that you took the time to talk to us. And I noticed that you're very good to your fans. And thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Tiffany Young for IdeateTV.